Hello, my name is Will, and in this segment, I want to talk about offerings, a crucial part of the Day of the Dead. So, the points I'll be talking about are how people prepare beforehand for the offering, what is used in an offering, how participants will usually set up their altar in offerings, and last, what I would like to see on my altar when I pass away, what offerings would be there for me that my family would provide. Preparations for this event start taking place much earlier in the year. Large cooking vessels, ollas, incense burners, and other necessary items start in September or earlier. Traditionally, everything is new, even down to the clothes the family will wear to the event, although that's an ideal situation because not a lot of families can afford to buy new clothes. This is also a good time to replace household items, such as the round-bellied cooking pots used in rural areas to prepare tamales and other festival dishes. These are consumed in large quantities. The main preparation begins in the period immediately preceding Todos Santos. Also, rural markets will set up to the best of their capabilities, and the offerings go on sale, such as flowers, breads, fruits, vegetables, candles, sugar, sweets, pottery dishes, toys, and many grades of incense. Traders will come in from afar to the larger markets, bringing demanded goods such as ethnic pottery, baskets, wooden cooking utensils, tissue papers with punched or cut out decorative designs, and paper puppets. Plastic toys, pumpkins, witches, and masks usually displayed on Halloween are rarely used for the Day of the Dead, although it is possible to see it. So with all these options, families are usually very excited to go out with each other and pick things out for their passed away relatives. So the most important flower used in offerings is cempasúchil, also known as the flower of the dead. It is said to attract the souls towards their offerings. These can lead out of the house to the road or in the direction of the cemetery, because it's believed that the souls need to find their way back to the grave site. If they can't find the way back to the grave site, then many people think that they will cause trouble on the living. The other most common flower is the magenta coxcomb or mano de leon, lion's paw. Other flowers such as gypsophila, like white flower, nube, gladioli, and carnations are used in offerings. So most of these offerings are made by October 28th. So bread ovens are used to bake bread before October 30th, which is carried out by the men, either the head of the family or a close relative. Special dishes are made in advance along with chocolate figurines. So the ofrenda is actually constructed on the 30th or 31st by the whole family on a table or platform covered with white or embroidered cloth or decorated plastic sheeting. This is usually set next to the permanent household altar for saints. Above the table, frame or arch is set using supply canes decorated with palm or green leaves and sometimes sugar canes. Embellished can be an arrangement of flowers, fruits, and ornaments. Cloths can even be draped over the arch to form the sky or cielo over the offering. Tissue paper can be used decoratively to cover the platform and arch. Papeles picados or papeles recortados are hung in front or behind the altar. The table can have pictures of figurines of particular saints, Virgin Mary or Christ, that are important to the particular family. Candlesticks are a must-have and placed both on and before the offering. The candles are sometimes set into a section of the stem of a banana plant, set up on wooden trestles. A new patat, which is a rush or palm leaf mat, will be used for the incense burners. The central position of the altar is for the portraits or photographs of the deceased that are important to the families. So a picture of the passed away relative will be in the center. Flowers will be complete with decoration and leave the rest of the room for the food offerings. So in my opinion, the offerings are the most crucial part of the Day of the Dead. So this video gives you a little bit of background information on how people prepare for their offerings for the Day of the Dead, and it also teaches you how you can create your own and what you would use. So for this next part, I want to talk about what I would like to see as an offering for me on my altar. So what I could see being on my altar is probably raspberries, mangoes, avocados, can of tuna because I love eating tuna. A picture of my family because I love my family. I usually wear Vans or Converse, so I wouldn't be surprised if I saw that. Maybe a game system like an Xbox or a PlayStation. And I love coffee, so if I saw coffee in my altar, I'd be so happy. And it would never terrorize my family. So I know I listed a lot that I would personally like to see, and I would like to see a lot more, but that doesn't mean that all of it has to be included. Um, a lot of people would just include maybe one or two of those things, and that would be suffice for an altar. But those are a lot of my favorite things, and I feel like my family would know to take a couple of those things to my altar to remember me. So now that we were done talking about the offerings, I wanted to show you what I created for my creative project. So I bought a styrofoam head and I painted over it. I initially wanted to use a plaster skull, but I wasn't able to do it in time. And what I painted on here is pretty interesting. So on this side we have a table, and I put ofrenda instead of drawing the food, the candlesticks, what else? The decorations, everything else. Because I'm not a good painter, so I figured if I just wrote it, you would kind of understand what I'm trying to do. I put the cempasúchil flowers at the top. I wanted to do in like an arch, but it didn't really come out great. Here's another cempasúchil trail. It actually leads to the cemetery. And here's skulls. Little skulls are poking their heads out of the cemetery, going to follow the trail to their offering. And the traditional Day of the Dead makeup. Here's this side, which is supposed to symbolize kind of what I believe, or what I used to believe, a cross in space that kind of symbolizes how I don't really know which religion to follow as of now. It's supposed to symbolize like existential crisis, how I don't really know what to believe or what's going to happen in the afterlife. So I thought that was a cool contrast with showing the Day of the Dead side, because for them, they kind of approach death with respect, like in a humble way. Like they kind of know that they're going to die, but they're not afraid of it. They actually like invite it to them, like the Day of the Dead, they're inviting the dead to come back to them. They want the dead to celebrate with them. So in that sense, I wanted it to be brighter, and that's where I had this contrast in color to show like the duality. I wanted also to represent the duality of ancient Aztec philosophy in some way, how there would be like an equilibrium point leading to the cempasúchil flower. I thought that was cool. That's basically what I wanted to show. I wanted to show the duality, the contrast in color, the difference in beliefs, how different it is now, how different is it going to be in the future. Maybe future generations might go back to this way, where we invite the dead to come back into our homes. Or maybe we might go in this direction, where more people will start becoming, unsure about the afterlife, unsure about how they should feel about death. I know a lot of people fear dying, and personally, I think a lot more people are going in this direction. When you could see the positives in going in this one, because it would be a lot nicer not to fear dying than to fear it. So that's pretty much it. I tried to the best of my ability to give you an explanation about my creative project and what I was trying to do. So that's pretty much it. I actually really enjoyed making this. It was fun to get the supplies. It was fun to paint. And although I'm not an experienced painter, I like the way it came out. It was actually very therapeutic. Okay, so that's all. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.